right there, gangsters. This is take 2. Take 1 was Mark being an idiot, and instead of hitting video, I put it in time warp mode, which is like a time lapse. This is a GoPro that I use for video, and so I had it in the wrong mode. And I had did a bunch of talking, and Pam did a bunch of talking, and well, it's all not there. So maybe I'll throw a little section of that in here so that you can see what an idiot I am. But anyway, we actually are on Ocracoke, and we've been here since Sunday, right? That one guy, yeah. We've been here since Sunday, and well, it is now Tuesday, and this is the first time I've gotten the camera out. So anyway, I'll let you look around.
Welcome to Ocracoke Island.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I got my feet in the sand.
Look at there.
Way back there.
Yep, there they are.
Yep. So here we are. We've been to the preserve down at the other end of the island in the village. We've ridden our bikes into the village yesterday. We had lovely lunch at Smack Nally's, right?
Smack Nally's.
Smack Nally's, right there on the wharf. Like if I had tipped my chair over, I might have fallen in the water.
Yep.
And we both got tuna.
Which was delicious.
Yeah, seared ahi tuna. Mark got a wrap and I got a salad. And then, let's see, we've ridden our bike to town twice. It's 3 miles from the National Park campground.
Yeah, that's where we're at, in case you're wondering.
Yeah. And what else have we done? Oh, we bought an airfoil. Mark flew it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and crashed it a few times.
He had a blast. He loved it.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to fly.
Yeah. And in a minute, when we finish this brief video, we're gonna go shark hunting with the drone.
I know that's right.
Yeah. We saw a dolphin when we were on the ferry, and we saw a stingray over at the preserve. And so, you know, it seems sensible that we could see some shark out there.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah. And then one other thing that needs to be said right away, and you need to know I'm serious, so I took my glasses off. Mosquitoes. They warn you that mosquitoes in the summer are really bad in Ocracoke. This is the middle of October, but they haven't had a frost yet. And mosquitoes are really bad. When the sun gets low in the sky, which sunsets about 6:30, so probably around 5:30 or 6 o'clock they start coming out. By 6:15 we are in the hideout playing our ukuleles because, well, the mosquitoes would carry me away if I stayed outside. And they're everywhere. They're on the beach. You can't get away from them. If you're cooking, the heat of your stove attracts them. So we will be done with dinner by 5:30 at the very latest, and have everything cleaned up and be ready to be just in the hideout the rest of the evening, long before sunset. Yeah. So note to self, only come to Ocracoke in the spring before the mosquitoes come out.
Yeah, because when we were here in May, I don't think we even noticed any mosquitoes.
Yeah, there were none.
Yeah, and it was, you know, nice weather, and yeah, all the way around a good experience. Not that this hasn't been a good experience.
Right. The days are beautiful.
Yeah, and I haven't really noticed any mosquitoes so much during the day.
No, not too many. Okay.
There's a few, but not a lot.
Yeah. So, time for shark hunting.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's go.
We're gonna hunt some sharks. Okay, gangsters, we're headed into town. We're gonna go take you to Springer, what's it called? Springer Preserve. We're gonna take you to Springer Preserve because we thought it was really cool. I'm gonna take some pictures there and let you see it. Basically, it's an old area that was the original settlement area of the island, and it's also where Blackbeard, Edward Teach, I think his name is, his real name, Blackbeard used to come there quite regularly. That was like his little hideout location. So it's about 3 miles into town from the campground, and it's basically just a long, straight, kind of a asphalt wide sidewalk. So it's kind of nice. All right, so here we are at Springer Preserve, and it's kind of a cool little, I guess you'd call a network of trails through here. And there's a lot of, what do they call these? Live oaks? Is that the right word? Mm-hmm. A lot of live oaks, and just kind of a pretty natural trail, I guess you'd call it. But you can actually get out to the water eventually, which is where we're ultimately going to take you. And so anyway, here we are on the trail.
Fighting mosquitoes.
Fighting mosquitoes, yep.
Already.
Okay, so here's a cool looking live oak. It's one of the big ones.
Hey, gangsters. Live oaks all through the, you know,
all around.
Up. And then there's that cool one at the beach.
Yeah. So here's a cool live oak here. Comes all the way back down to the ground. One of the limbs does.
And then it goes back up.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. I think this is the climbing tree here. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. So here we are. This is still Springer's Preserve, and we're kind of out on the, I guess they call this the point, basically.
Yeah. It's actually the name of it is Springer's Point Preserve.
Springer's Point Preserve. So this is Springer's Point. I don't know if you can see the crab or not. See if I can point you to the crab. There he is right there. There he is. He's like, don't you come near me. I'll eat you alive. But yeah, really, really pretty. Nice and breezy right here, so there's not as many mosquitoes.
That's
and we,
a good thing.
And we care about such things.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay. There he goes. He's about to go down into a hole or into the grass.
Yeah, there he goes. He's like, he's out of here. All right, so this here is the Ocracoke Lighthouse. Kind of cool. When we first got here, they were saying that there was a lighthouse here, and I was like, I guess it's because it's not as tall as a lot of other lighthouses that I've seen. I was like, where in the heck is the darn thing? But it's here. Here it is, right here. They ain't playing. They say that the base of that thing is 5 feet thick in brick and mortar. Isn't that crazy? There's a sign down here that just talks about how this lighthouse used to be, I guess, some kind of a I don't know how it was lit, but whatever they used to light it with, I guess, was pretty unreliable. And they said whenever they needed it most of the time, it wasn't working. Yeah, that's cool. And there's Pam, the best gangster of all. She's the real gangster right there. She's a serious gangster. She just lets me come along for a ride. She's the real tough one. I just pretend I'm loud and noisy, but I ain't got no real bite. So that right there is the picture of gangsterism. Here she comes. Here comes the real gangster. The real gangster. Here she is.
So there's ranger programs. There'll be a ranger here from 1 to 3 this afternoon.
Okay, well that must have been the one that just left and you're being filmed.
Hi there, gangsters.
Yeah. Okay, so we're over on the harbor side of Ocracoke Island, because the water's, well, it's a little bit calmer over here. And doing a little kayaking. And so yeah, the water's remarkably clear over here. I was sort of expecting it would be a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more dingy, but it's actually pretty clear. So I'll give you a look around underneath here in just a little bit. But Pam's up there in her little, I think they call it an kayak inlet. It's a foldable kayak. Yeah. It always makes me nervous every time I think about getting in it, but she gets in it, floats around, and does. I mean, she can actually get around pretty good in it. It's surprisingly agile little kayak. So, but I think I prefer my solid kayak. I feel a little more secure. Hey gangsters. So we had an awesome day yesterday.
It was wonderful.
It was really cool. We went kayaking, we went out on the beach for a little while, and I flew the drone, took some pictures of some fish in the water at Springer Point. We went to Springer Point. It's called Springer Point, right? Springer Point.
Yeah, Springer Point.
Springer Point Preserve.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went kayaking out on the Sound side, and it was just an awesome day. Nice and sunny, beautiful.
Ate at Smacknally's.
Ate at Smacknally's, which was
good
really
food.
good. You know, just a great day.
Yeah, rode our bikes.
Yeah, we rode our bikes. But the truth is that not everything always is good. Like, sometimes things are not good. And this morning, it's not good. It's just rainy and windy, and it looks like it's going to be that way for a little while.
Till the afternoon.
Yeah, till the afternoon. So it's not really very pleasant to think about cooking outside. And then we took the awning down because the wind was whipping it around, and we were afraid it was gonna tear it up. So we have no awning. We have really no practical way to cook inside the.
Yeah, we don't want to cook inside there anyway. That's why we bought it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're going to breakfast. We're going to go to the Island. I think it's called the Island Pony Restaurant.
Or Pony Island.
Which I think is pretty much the only place to get breakfast, unless you stay at a bed and breakfast here. I think it's pretty much the only place to serve you breakfast. So we're going to go in there and eat us some breakfast. And it should clear out later on today. But, you know, we just wanted to be real with you, you know? I mean, it's not all roses and sunshine all the time. Sometimes it's like this. Ain't that right, honey?
It sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And, you know, every now and then a wave, the waves must be big because every now and then a wave hits really hard and you can feel the ground shake in the camper.
Boom.
Lying on the bed. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe scary. I don't know which.
Is
it cool or is it scary?
I think it's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we're signing off now.
Yep.
We'll check back with you later. And with some more sunshine and roses.
See you later, gangsters.
So it's a rainy day and we thought we'd wander around, and we ran across this, it's called the British Cemetery, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let Pam explain because she's good at that.
Yeah. So in 1942, there was a ship on loan to our Navy. There were 24 total trawlers that had been refitted to patrol our coasts, and a German submarine in May of 1942 blew up a British trawler that was patrolling our coasts for us.
I guess somewhere here near Ocracoke.
Yeah. And the crew died. They only recovered 2 bodies that they knew and 2 other people. And they're buried here. And if we come over here, there's an interesting sign. So these are the graves of the known people whose bodies were recovered, and 2 unknown people whose bodies were recovered. But there's a Commonwealth War Graves Commission, which is the countries that are part of the UK and the Commonwealth there. And they have graves of their military people all around the whole planet who, and they maintain them. And they make sure that that they are maintained, are you know,
provide some level of respect for what they did.
Yeah.
I guess would be the best way to put it, I guess.
Yeah.
And it is very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, these were British seamen who were on loan, for lack of a better word, to our Navy, patrolling our shores during the early part of World War II. And the name of their ship was the Bedfordshire, and it was torpedoed and sunk by a German sub. All hands were lost.
Wow. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Britain.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That's pretty. And look at here. Is that not the largest rosemary bush you have ever seen in your life? I mean, that's a rosemary bush. One single solitary rosemary bush. And I'm like, wow. I didn't know they could get that big. So, yeah, so that's what we're doing on a rainy day.
is this man doing looking at the sky? What are those straps in his hands? Look at the beautiful ocean while we're here. The storm is gone. Yay, so here he is looking at the sky. Oh, he's flying. Do you have any comments to make about this device you're flying, sir?
I think it's called an airfoil kite, and it's like a 2-line airfoil kite. It's not super big, it's like 51 inches, but it's a lot of fun to fly. And it's not super windy right now, so it's not, well, here we go, maybe I can do it now. There we go, now we got a little bit of pull now. So there wasn't a whole lot of wind, not really enough wind for it to fly that kite super well. It needs a decent amount of wind in order to fly well, because it's an airfoil. It doesn't have any air is what gives it its shape. So it's all good. We had fun for a minute or two. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Heck yeah. So we thought, well, we'll just take a walk along the beach, because look at that. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, the thing that we really like about Ocracoke is, I mean, look at that beach. Ain't nobody on it. This is a absolutely beautiful beach, and there's nobody here. I'd say nobody, but you know, there's hardly anybody here. It's like, man, it's so cool. You gotta love it. And it's a beautiful beach with the sand dunes and ocean and my honey, or excuse me, my fellow gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's our shadows. Look at that. All right, enough of that. Oh, look at her. She's going to show us how to do something here. Let's see. Ain't she talented? Looks like a snail. All right, so we'll catch you back later. Okay, so we've walked a good little ways down the beach, and there was a few people up there where we were at, and this is how many people are around right now that we've walked. I think she said, how far did you say?
Total of 1.8.
1.8. So there are some people way down there, and there's some people, actually I think it's just one person that I can see way down there.
Little people way beyond.
Oh, okay. Way past the ocean mist.
Yeah. Deep in the ocean.
All right. But the gangsters are having a good time.
It is so beautiful this afternoon.
It sure is, and it was horrible this morning.
Yeah. But you know, so we laid around in the camper, we researched ukuleles, we slept late.
Yeah.
We went into town and had breakfast. It's not like it ruined our day.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah.
No, we just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we learn how to have fun in what you're doing at the moment. Live in the moment. There you go.
Yeah.
Live in the moment. Don't let the small stuff eat you up. That's what we say.
Yeah. Of course, we'll try to remember that later when the mosquitoes come out.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'll remind you of that. Yep. All right.
We're going home. We're parked at the Hatteras Ferry, which is at the north end of Ocracoke Island. It's really windy today. It's dreary and gray. It's a good day to go home.
Yeah.
So it looks like the ferry is gonna be a little while before it gets here, and there's a bit of chop because of the wind. There's all kinds of little white caps out there in the path, and it's kind of funny when you're on the ferry. The ferry has to travel between the red and the green buoys, and it so you know the distance you need to go is pretty short. I don't know. I know you don't measure distance on water in miles, but miles is all I know. It's probably only about a mile or a mile and a half to the other side, but you go this way and like this, and they have to follow where they've dredged. So it's a very convoluted route that
it's
they
like,
take.
why are we turning left away from you know, where we think we're headed? But
the cool thing perhaps is we've had a blast here this
we
trip.
have. We had fun.
We rode our bikes many miles. My bottom can attest to that because it's not used to it. And we also kayaked.
Yeah.
And you know, we put in on the Pamlico Sound side, or the inland side of the island, and paddled for a while. But we paddled a good long distance. Again, I don't know what it was, more than a half a mile, might have been a mile. We even crossed over to an island.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole way, I think if I had fallen out of my kayak, I would have just landed like on my head, because I don't think that the water in most places was any more than 2 to 3 feet deep.
Yeah, it was surprisingly shallow. Yeah. The
But,
whole way.
Yeah, but that was really cool. And
it was.
Probably my favorite part of the kayaking was when I went exploring up into the salt marsh, grassy areas, like went up a river. And
Salt Marsh River.
And in that water, the grass is taller than you are sitting in a kayak, so it really like shrinks your whole world to just this little space. And that was, I just found that really interesting, and I'm looking.
Yeah, she took off and left me behind.
I'm looking forward to doing that again.
I had to go wandering down through there trying to find her, hoping I was making the right turn.
Yeah. So we had a really good time, and you know, would I come in October again? Probably. Mosquitoes are definitely a force to contend with. We are exploring getting a Theracell because we're going to be near the Everglades in a few weeks, and I hear mosquitoes are bad there.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they are.
So if y'all have any comments about any of those Theracells, we would love to hear them.
I think it's called Thermacell.
Thermacell.
Yeah, Thermacell. I don't know if they work or not. Everybody says they do, but
they're rated pretty well.
Yeah, they are rated pretty well, but who knows?
Yeah.
But
so
they're like $40 for one of them. I'm like, and then you got to have cartridges that you refill for them. Yeah. Who knows? So I guess with that, we'll say later, gangsters.
Yeah.
Till the next one.
Yeah. Take care, gangsters. See you out on the trails.
That's right.
Hey there. I'm Mark, and that's Pam. We're the Runaway Gang. Be sure and join us on our next adventure.